Hello there, YouTube. Thanks for stopping by for the Pick Six Podcast YouTube channel. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on your alerts to get notified when we go live virtually every day at 1 p.m. Eastern. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Pick Six Podcast, CBS Sports Daily NFL Podcast. I'm Brinson. I'm your host. It is Tuesday, May 24th, if you are listening to the podcast in audio form. If you're watching us on YouTube, it is Monday, May 23rd. We go live at 1 p.m. Eastern time virtually every single day. So make sure if you're interested in seeing us, and why wouldn't you be, you can subscribe, youtube.com/pick6. Joining me to talk some AFC East win totals. Wins. Ryan Wilson. What's up, buddy?
Hey, where's Breach? What's he doing? Is he still in Miami? Wreaking havoc?
I don't know. I think Debo may be trying to not force you guys to do every show this week.
Breach is coming on for AFC North tomorrow.
Yeah. There's even a chance, Wilson, that you end up having to do AFC North with Breach tomorrow, but we'll see.
No, there's no chance of that. I don't.
There's a chance.
I don't know how this works. Yeah, I just at HQ and producer Jack's like, yeah, Brinson just disappeared. So that sounds about right. Meanwhile, they call Wilson like a reliable pair of slippers.
You are reliable.
Always there.
I didn't disappear. Oh, yeah. I was, whatever.
That's a yes.
Whatever.
That's a hard yes.
I didn't disappear. I was out coaching my son's flag football.
There it is.
First place flag football team. Thank you very much. We beat the Cowboys. The Bills. We were actually, you know what team we are? We're the Bills.
All right.
The very first team we're going to talk about.
That makes me feel better about having to cover for you once again.
When are you covering for me?
HQ today.
4. Oh, I said I could possibly do it. I didn't. My wife had people coming to town. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it or not. I didn't know. I couldn't tell them for sure.
They were making fun of you, by the way.
I don't care. I'll hang up this podcast right now. I'll leave.
I dare you.
I will go to Honduras and get stepped on by a horse.
Dang. Telling Debo's business.
I posted on Instagram.
You didn't know what was up?
I mean, I don't think Debo cares.
Too busy posting about John Daly.
That was a scene, man. It's wild. Got some weird repost on Instagram.
Yeah. Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah.
Your dreams coming true on every level.
Oh my God. Are you salty today?
No,
salty.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Cut the grass this morning, so I'm good.
A little salty. All right. AFC East win totals. We'll start with the Bills. The Bills over under 11.5 over minus 130. Of course, they went 11-6 last year. The Bills over under 10.5 was one of my best bets. I gave that out before the season. It climbed to 11, eventually pushed. If you got 11.5 last year, tough scene because the Bills scored 6 points against the Jaguars and lost that game.
Remember that game?
They opened against the Rams in week 1, had the Titans in week 2. Also get the Ravens in week 4, the Chiefs in week 6, the Packers in week 8. And also play the Bengals in week 17, and of course have to play the Patriots, Dolphins, and Jets twice. Just some notable games. They added Von Miller this offseason, Jamison Crowder, O.J. Howard, Case Keenum. Didn't really matter. And then lost Mr. Trubisky as the backup, so Case Keenum, I guess, is fairly interesting from that perspective. Also lost Harrison Phillips, Mario Addison, Jerry Hughes, some real defensive line talent there. And A.J. Klein gone, Wilson.
Can you believe it? Breach's nightmare come true. All right.
I don't see how you can take the under on the Bills, to be perfectly frank.
I just did wins over Wilson on this thing. What do you think it came out with for the Bills record?
13.
I was trying to be conservative, and I came up with 14 wins.
Wow. 14-3, huh?
Losses against the Chiefs, the Bengals, and 1 loss against the Patriots. I mean, they could lose to the Ravens, of course, in week 4. The Steelers, I don't think so. They're not losing that game. The Packers, I had them beating the Packers, but that could certainly go the other way. But that game's in Buffalo. And again, who knows where Aaron Rodgers' head will be at by that point. I don't know. You could probably talk yourself into Kirby Cousins beating the Bills in Ralph Wilson Stadium, or whatever it's called now.
They'll probably lose, they might lose one, really bad one.
Yeah, they could have a Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, they could. I was going to say a Jacksonville Jaguars, and I went week 16. They could lose to the Bears, and I stopped myself. They're not losing.
Yeah,
they're
not losing to the Bears. That's right.
Maybe the Lions in week 12. Maybe the Lions.
Yeah, there you go.
Pull something on
them. That's Thanksgiving, actually.
There you go. 12:30 game. Oh yeah, there you go. Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm going over.
The Bills are the favorite to win the Super Bowl. They are the number 1 consensus team in the NFL heading
Are
into
they
the
your
20
favorite to win the Super Bowl?
Are they what?
Your favorite to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think so. Although I might be more interested in taking a team from the NFC just because the path, there's a path.
There's a path.
It is a little bit easier. But yeah, I mean, I think you look at this, like I would expect that the Bills will sweep the Jets. Let's say they split with the Dolphins and Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, you're giving the Dolphins a lot of credit, but sure.
I'm trying to be super. All right, let's say they lose week 1 to the Rams, lose to the Chiefs on the road. That's not unreasonable at all.
Yeah, that's fine.
Drop a random game and then split with the Dolphins and Patriots.
That's still 5 losses. Is that right? 12.
Yeah, I mean, you're still at 12 and 5. I mean, it's probably over. And that feels pretty conservative, right?
Yeah. Like yes.
I think you lose to the Bengals in week 17 for sure.
I had them losing to the Bengals.
Okay.
So I had the Bengals, Patriots, and Chiefs as the starting point for me.
So Rams, Chiefs, Bengals, 1 Patriots. Yeah, I mean, that's the really tricky part is if they lose those games, because you're at the Rams, at the Chiefs, at the Bengals, and at the Patriots is a tough, it's a Monday night game, I guess. If you get to those 4, you have to be, if you think it's going to be 12 and 5, you have to be a little bit worried. But if they are as good as we think they are, it's entirely possible that this is a 13 or 14 win team. So I would go over if I was betting it, but I will probably stay away from that number because it's just a really high number.
Really?
Don't you think so?
Minus 130. What's the under? What does that pay?
I would assume like plus 105 or maybe
not worth it.
Yeah,
it's a Thursday game versus the Patriots because Detroit Lions is Thanksgiving and then follows up with back-to-back Thursday games.
Makes sense. Oh, so they play Thanksgiving and don't get 10 days for the Pats. Interesting. I guess the Pats will be Sunday to Thursday, though. Oh, that's a huge advantage at New England. In the comments, if you let us know in the comments, over or under on the Bills, 11.5.
Patriots also playing Thanksgiving versus the Vikings.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Good call. So both 7 days of prep for that. I mean, what's the Bills' weakness?
Punter, and they drafted a punter. So
they got Matt Araiza.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say running back too, and they drafted a running back with James Cook in the second round.
Don't mention that. God, they'll people go crazy, Bills fans, if you say James Cook is too much like Devin Singletary. Like they hate that. I mean, they absolutely lose their minds over that. Bills fans, by the way, I'm going to take a page out of the Brinson book, are incredibly soft. I mean, just beyond soft. And it's crazy to me that they're.
You say Bills fans are beyond soft?
Yeah, they're so soft.
I mean, they sit outside in like 30-degree weather, like 70% of the year.
I'm talking about mentally soft. Like they take everything personally. They have one of the best teams in the league, and they think everyone's against them. I live in Central New York. I'm pulling for the Bills to have success. Just because I think that James Cook wasn't a great pick where they took him doesn't mean I hate you. It just means that I didn't think it was a great pick. Maybe it works out, and I hope it does. But geez, people, take it, relax.
As you're wearing a City jersey on this podcast, just showing yourself as a.
Oh my God,
what a front runner you are!
Well, this is NYCFC, so it's MLS. But man,
that was crazy.
That was so much fun. I watched an hour late, and I stayed off social media because I'm able to do that. And I almost quit watching when Aston Villa scored the second goal. I was like, I'm not gonna sit through this. Glad I did.
City scored 3 goals, and Man City scored like 3 goals in like 30 seconds to like 3.5 minutes. Anyway, but back to the Bills. I mean,
yeah, they have no holes. They drafted Kyrie Elam.
RJ White's brought this up. Of course, our coworker in front of the pod. The losing Brian Dable and transitioning to Ken Dorsey is at least worth discussing as like something that might be,
an issue. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, like that.
It could be a double whammy in that Josh Allen loses him and then he doesn't magically fix Daniel Jones.
I just wonder. So, like the first 6 weeks, Bills are at the Rams versus the Titans, at the Dolphins, at the Ravens, versus the Steelers, at the Chiefs. What's their record after that? It could be 3-3. Like that wouldn't be that crazy. If they're 3-3 after that, you are panicking about 11.5.
I had them 5-1. I think I had them 10-1. I'm going through their schedule real quick.
It's on the screen.
Yeah. Well, not how I had them winning or losing.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not.
So you had their one loss to Kansas City to start the
right, and then they
and I don't know. At Baltimore isn't an easy game either.
No, but again, they don't have any wide receivers in Baltimore.
Yeah,
they're trying to figure some things out. Yeah, of course. I mean, the Baltimore crushed their draft. But again, it's not like even Ken Dorsey, he's familiar with the system, so it's not like they're starting over from scratch. Let me put it this way. Of all the people you had to lose on that team, from equipment managers all the way up to Josh Allen, I think Brian Dable is probably middle of the pack. Not to take anything away from him. He's important, but I mean, you'd rather have Josh Allen and Steph Diggs, Jordan Poyer, all those guys on defense. They'll be fine. It would be a bigger issue, I think, if Josh Allen were in year 2. He ain't.
Fair enough. All right. Anything else on the Bills? I think it's just over or bust.
Yeah, I think they're going over. I don't know how they, unless Josh Allen gets hurt, I don't know how they don't go over.
I mean, again, toss that. I mean, just at LA, at Baltimore, at KC, they could be 3-3 going to the bye.
Of course they could. They'll still go over.
Maybe.
All right.
I mean, the Titans were the number 1 seed last year.
Oh my God, we gotta stop disrespecting the Titans, don't we? And at Miami, it's not like I do agree. Somebody in the comments said that Allen owns the Fins, and that's true. I just, I mean, it's not
we're going to talk about the Dolphins next. If you're a Dolphins fan, you might want to fast forward through this part if you're watching it later. Okay. If you're watching it live, I would suggest getting a time machine.
So we call it a teaser. Actually, we're going to talk about the Patriots next. We can do Dolphins if you want.
Well, that's what Debo had on the rundown, didn't he? Oh, no, he had Patriots. All right, yeah, we can do Patriots, then we'll do Dolphins.
Patriots had a better record last year, so we'll do Patriots. The Patriots over-under, and Dolphins and Pats have the same over-under. Pats over-under 8.5 wins, over -135. They went 10-7 last year 2 with Mac Jones. Now, of course, they play the Steelers in week 2 at Pittsburgh in week 2, excuse me. They're at Green Bay in week 4. In week 12, they're at Minnesota on Thanksgiving evening. And, of course, they have to play the Bills twice on the back half of their schedule. They also have the Cardinals, Raiders, Bengals on there as well. Not a ton of offseason additions, although a couple of fairly decent names. Jabril Peppers and Mac Wilson, 2 former Browns defenders. They also brought in old pal Malcolm Butler, the Super Bowl hero, and traded for Devontae Parker, J.C. Jackson, Kyle Van Noy, 2 big defensive losses. They traded Chase Winovich as part of that deal to get Mac Wilson. They traded Jared Stidham, which, whatever. And maybe most importantly, they lost Ted Karras and traded Jack Mason. So sort of kind of rebooting on the offensive line here a little bit if you're the Pats. It never feels good to go under on a Bill Belichick coach team, so I wouldn't necessarily want to do that. But do you look at this Pats team and think, man, Belichick's really got it figured out now?
No, and in fact, I didn't know what the over/under was when I did the win total. So the win total I came up with was 9-8.
Okay,
and I have them losing 5 straight from weeks 12 through week 16.
What?
Week 12 starts with the Vikings, Bills,
Vikings on Thanksgiving versus the Bills the next Thursday night. At Arizona, at Las Vegas, versus Cincinnati. 5 straight losses right there, huh?
Yep. And then I have them beating the Bills once and beating the Dolphins probably twice. I haven't double checked, but I'm pretty sure.
Wait, why are they playing at 4 a.m. in week 18?
Probably overseas, if I had to guess.
No, I think this is NFL Jesus. I think there's just a few that are incorrect at this point. Great website, but I think just a few are listed at 4 a.m.
It's not a public website though.
What if it is at 4 a.m. though?
It's a secret Brinson website.
It is, yeah. It would be fun if they were playing at 4 a.m. Would you stay
4 a.m.
up?
Buffalo in January? What's the temperature, Ryan?
Oh my God. -30. Maybe they're playing even if they play in London. That's a 9 a.m. start in London. So that's crazy.
Let's see what the Buffalo weather was in January 2021.
Yeah, it's probably like 12 at 4 a.m.
Oh, June? January. January 2022, January 8th. The low is 34. That's actually not that cold.
There you go.
But January 15th, the low is 5.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you could end up with like a 5-degree day at 4 a.m. on January 8th. Yeah, I mean, I think like I don't think that's crazy that they could lose off like those 5 straight games. I would think they'd get one of Arizona or Las Vegas. I think they could take down the Bengals on Christmas Eve at home.
What's your total wins?
If I were doing the Pats, let's see. Go to the top duo, sorry. I mean, I think I would lean towards I would have them starting. Like, are they going to start? They're probably not starting 2-0, right?
I had them going 2-0. Then I have them losing to the next 2.
Okay. I can see them beating Baltimore.
All right. Well, let me know when you get to the end.
I don't think 2-2 is crazy start though. Like,
yeah, that's what I had, 2-2.
Yeah, so 2-2. Haven't beaten the Lions at 3-2. I'm gonna have them beating the Browns. Belichick revenge spot. So that's 4-2.
Yeah. What's his name? Deshaun Watson probably is not even playing.
Yeah, most likely not even playing. 5-2 when they beat the Bears at home. 6-2 against the Jets. 6-3. They lose to the Colts is a toss-up game. So then 7-3 after they beat the Jets the second time. And so you had them losing 5 straight and then closing out with 2 wins.
Yeah, that means they got to beat the Bills on the road.
Well, the Bills on the road is interesting though because Buffalo might not have anything to play for.
Yeah, but they'll play them tough.
Yeah, and remember the Bills have come out swinging the last 2 years, even though they didn't need to in week 18, I believe. Remember they stomped the Miami Dolphins and knocked Tua and Ryan Fitz out of the playoffs. I'll say over with 10 total, 10-7.
Jeez, okay,
that's not that crazy.
No, but a lot has to go right for them to get there.
Yeah. Look, Matt Jones maybe takes a big leap forward. Although with no Josh McDaniels, oh man, I keep forgetting that they don't have McDaniels and they're going to have like Joe Judge or Matt Patricia as their offensive coordinator. That's
crazy,
concerning, deeply concerning. I'll say 10-7, but I'm a little hesitant about the Pats, at least.
Okay,
just as of right now.
Yeah.
Belichick's just going to get it done, though, I feel like. All right. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we will talk about why Ryan Wilson hates the Miami Dolphins next.
Yo, MTV Raps
is back. Join host Conceited and DJ Diamond Cuts. You're gonna be fire as they bring you the hip-hop artists who matter now.
The fame, I want the money, power, respect, too.
With mic-dropping ciphers, original videos, and performances you won't see anywhere else.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Peace. Yeah. Catch Yo MTV Raps streaming May 24th, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
For those watching on YouTube, just got a trip in the time machine.
Yeah.
MTV Raps coming back to Paramount Plus, baby.
And you better stay in that time machine if you don't want to hear the next segment.
Oh boy. So the Miami Dolphins also have a win total of 8.5 at Caesars, the over -135. Miami went 9-8 last year. They played the Pats in week 1 and the Bengals in week 4, Steelers in week 7, 49ers, Chargers, and Packers also on the schedule. Added, of course, Mike McDaniel after firing Brian Flores this offseason, who's still suing the team in the NFL. Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer have since brought in Tyreek Hill, acquired in a trade from the Chiefs, signed a massive 4-year, $120 million extension. They also added running backs Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, and Sony Michel to a backfield that, not exactly what Myles Gaskin was like the guy there. And Teron Armstead, a huge free agent signing from New Orleans, 5-year, $75 million contract. Teddy Bridgewater signed as the backup. Cedric Wilson added as a wide receiver. They traded Devontae Parker, lost Jacoby Brissett to free agency, and lost Duke Johnson to free agency. What's your wins over Wilson total for the Dolphins here?
7-10.
Wow.
Is that too little?
That's pretty low.
So I have them starting out the gate 0-4. So you can see those 4 losses there.
Pats at home, at Baltimore, Bills at home, at Bengals. That's not crazy.
And then I have them losing 4 in a row, weeks 12 through week 16.
All right. So then they have the Jets at the Jets week 5. I'd have them 2-4 3 at that point. I think they'll beat the Jets. They will definitely. The Jets are going to win some games. They're not definitely beating the Jets, right? In New York?
No, they're not definitely beating the Jets for sure.
Vikings, Steelers at home. I think they split those. So I'll say at that point you're 3 and 4, excuse me. At Detroit, I think that could be a loss. At Chicago, probably split those to 4 and 5 through week 9. Browns in week 10, I'll give them a win. So 5 and 5. Texans at home after the bye. That's a W as well. 6 and 5.
And then weeks 13 through 16, excuse me, I said 12, but 13 through 16, I have them losing all 4 of those games.
At San Fran, at Los Angeles Chargers, at Buffalo Bills, Green Bay Packers, at Pats, Jets at home.
So I have them beating the Patriots in week 17. I mean, just sort of must-win situation.
Wait, I think I have I have 7 and 10. I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
Maybe you could go 8 and 10 if you give them actually Jets at home in week 18.
8 and 9.
Yeah. I think this is an underplay.
Oh, yeah.
Unless they just take some massive leap forward that we're not.
It all comes down to Tua, and that's it. Like if they had gotten Deshaun Watson and he didn't have all the off-field stuff going on, he was going to start every game. I feel like 11 wins probably you feel pretty good about that. But Tua, all the concerns, blah blah blah. 7.
Yeah, if you had a Watson, take away the off-field concerns, obviously, and you had Watson. Yeah, I mean, you feel like this is a potential division-winning team because you like the coaching. And plus we don't know like how good Mike McDaniel is going to be.
Yeah,
first-year head coach is tough, man.
Fun soundbite, but we don't know about the rest.
Right, exactly. So,
and let's see.
Boy.
The Dolphins they just have 1 first-round pick next year. I was just double-checking here. So, oh, no, they have 2. Excuse me. So they have the 49ers pick for the Trey Lance deal. So they have 2 first-round picks next year. So they could certainly be in the quarterback market. They could replace one Alabama quarterback with another one if they so choose, if Bryce Young has a great year, yada, yada, yada. But, yeah, so they have 2 first-round picks.
If Tua takes a leap forward, this over is a slam dunk.
Yeah, that's a huge if.
Yeah, if you're not in on Tua, I mean, I think he'll definitely get better. I just don't know I don't know how great he's going to be in like year 1 of this new system. Even though McDaniel does, if the offense operates like a Kyle Shanahan offense, in theory, he's going to get plenty of guys open, get the ball to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle underneath and, end up like with a bunch of yak plays without Tua having to really stretch the field. I mean, you can make the case that it's just weird that like this team just fired another head coach and it does feel like the roster's in a pretty good spot. Like, I don't hate the roster. I mean, like you said,
the roster is amazing.
Drop Deshaun Watson on this roster, or even Mac Jones on this roster, and you're thinking double-digit wins, right?
Yeah, Jason Loncofor wrote about this on Monday. Player said he thinks he's going to have a good year as a young player, and Tua was on the list. Yeah, he said basically what you just said. I love the track team assembled around Tua. I buy that this young QB is, in fact, the same kid who set records at Alabama. The madness of playing under dueling offensive coordinators or mystery coordinators or whatever the hell Brian Flores is trying to do on that offense is behind him. It's a fresh start under Mike McDaniel. The pass catchers will get a ton of yak. The offensive line is much improved. They will run the ball. And that's the truth. They will run it. And finally, JLC writes, Tua won't have to be super flashy to be very effective. I'd like the fit. Yep. So he's got to stay healthy. They got to lean on the run. And that doesn't change the fact that those first 4 games are brutal.
Yeah. I mean, I think Tua could be much improved and the Dolphins could still, I mean, like there's also a path where like he's much better and they still don't win a ton of games.
Yeah. And then, so let's say he gets better, but they don't win a ton of games. Then what? What are they doing? Are they going to have to draft another quarterback? What are they going to talk themselves into? Then that complicates
at San Fran, at LA, at Buffalo versus Green Bay, at New England is just a brutal stretch of games.
Like I had them going 1-4. They could go 0-5. I think 3 wins out of that is impossible. I could be wrong. It feels impossible.
Well, and then you also have to we pointed out up at the top, like you have 2 massive, like really difficult stretches of games where it's just gonna be hard to win. And it's just gonna be hard to win many games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, what's the best case scenario? Like you said, like, I don't think that, I don't think 3-2 is possible out of that. stretch of games. It's
That-
4
that-
games on the road in the winter, 2 out in LA or 2 out in California. Then you come back the next week and play in Buffalo.
So they'll probably spend the week in California after the San Francisco game.
Yeah, they'll stay out there for sure. They'll stay out there.
So
Then
they
you
have
come
that
back-
going
and
for
then
'em.
you all the way back across the country to Buffalo, and then you have finally go back to Miami, and Green Bay comes rolling into town, and then you got to fly back up to New England and play the Pats on the road. Like that's it looks tough, man.
Yeah, they have. Trying to think, do they have extra time off? No, they don't.
Oh,
There's still no. So there's no like they're not playing like on a Thursday night.
and again, like they open up Pats, Ravens, Bills, Bengals.
Yeah.
They
Not
can
great.
go 0-9 in that stretch of those 2 stretches, and then
I had
that
them
just doesn't matter what else you do.
I had them going 1-8. So yeah, but 0-9 feels like a possibility.
Yeah, it's really just really tough to get them above 8.5 wins unless you think they're going to win 4.
And how long until Tyreek Hill gets frustrated?
Probably not long. You're not playing with Mahomes anymore, bro. All right. The New York Jets.
The Jorts.
The New York Jorts. That's a Monday podcast. We're like ripping through this AFC. It's like, all right, over, under.
Well,
All right,
I mean,
all right, have a great day.
May 23rd. I don't know how much we can say about these teams. They haven't even had mini camps yet.
Jets over under 5.5 wins. The over though juiced like crazy. -160.
Oh, the over is?
Yeah. They went 4-13 last year. The Jets have to play the Ravens in week 1. Ouch. Because the Ravens stomp people in week 1 usually. Like all but 1 year over the last 5 or 6 years, they've stomped people in week 1. It's very
2011, the year my youngest son was born. They played the Steelers in week 1 and beat them like 400-0.
Wow. They get the Browns in week 2. Oh, that's right. I forgot the Jets open with the AFC North. How weird is that?
Not great for the Jets. I had them going 0-4.
Yeah, I mean, I think 1-3. They might get, Cleveland with no Deshaun.
And they can beat Pittsburgh. I mean, Pittsburgh plays down to competition, but these teams could actually be pretty evenly matched.
I mean, if they go 2-2, they're going over the total, I would think.
So let me tell you what I have for the win total already.
Go for it.
What do you think I have them doing?
I'll say 5.
7-10, the same record as the Miami Dolphins. And that's with a 0-4 start. There it is. That's it.
I'm just stopping by to say, fire Ryan Wilson. Ryan.
By the way, if it's your TikTok, how can you stop by your own TikTok? It's your TikTok, dummy.
Take
that,
TikToks from
12-year-old.
two-year-old TikToks.
Less TikTok hate this year. That was a nice development.
The Jets are basically all about Zach Wilson, right? It's like the same Tua thing. Like if Zach Wilson takes a step forward in his second year and looks like a competent NFL quarterback and it flashes, his arm talent.
Let me ask you
the
this.
Jets could-
Who would you rather have on your team, Zach Wilson or Tua Tagovailoa?
Zach Wilson.
I think so. And they crushed the draft. I mean, Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Jermaine Johnson, Breece Hall. Good Lord. Jeremy
Hard to
Ruckert.
cross the draft when you have 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, but they did well in the second round. They did well in the third round. They did well in the fourth round. Max Mitchell, offensive lineman. So they got the offensive line help without having to use a first-round pick on it. Hopefully, Mekhi Becton comes back. But you got Sauce Gardner. You got Garrett Wilson, who's going to be electric. You got Jermaine Johnson at the bottom of the first round. You got Breece Hall to be the running back to take the pressure off of you to go along with Michael Carter, who was good last year. You got Jeremy Ruckert, the tight end, and they signed Conklin and they signed Uzama. So they have like 15 tight ends on that roster, they're like the Bears from a couple years ago. And then Max Mitchell could play. He could play right away if you needed him to. We'll see how that shakes out. But yeah, you're right. This is all about Zach Wilson.
And actually, I take it back. Zach Wilson and Mekhi Becton. If Mekhi Becton is 2020 Mekhi Becton, Jets could be pretty good. If he's 2021 Mekhi Becton, he's hurt and reportedly 400 pounds this offseason, that's going to make things problematic for the Jets. But
so let me tell you the wins. See
right.
what you
So all right, look at we're looking at this on the screen on YouTube right now. They open versus Baltimore at Cleveland.
Hold on, let me give you the
I'm reading it so the people know it.
Oh, people can look at it. They don't need you to read it to them.
I was just wondering how many wins you have going into the bye with the week 10 bye, because after they play the AFC North, they get the Dolphins, Packers, Broncos, Patriots, and Bills. Yikes.
Let's start with where's the Bears? The Bears game is week 12. So going into the bye, I have them with 1 win.
Yeah. against
I
the Dolphins.
Exactly. So I'll go to the obvious ones. You tell me if you agree. So the Bears, I haven't beaten the Bears. You okay with that? Week 12?
Yeah, for sure.
And then I have them reeling off 4 straight, starting with the Lions at the end of the season here. So they win 4 straight. The Lions, the Jaguars, the Seahawks. That all seems reasonable.
Lions at home, Jaguars at home, at Seahawks. Yeah, that's possible.
I mean, who knows who the quarterback is? I mean, if Baker's the quarterback, maybe that's different, maybe not. And then I have them, the tougher wins, I have them sweeping Miami. And then I have them beating the Patriots once. And that gets you to 7. So that starts.
I don't think I would not count on the Jets beating Bill Belichick.
Maybe. I mean, Eric Mangini did it, and then he told on him.
Rex Ryan did a little bit. I think the question is, like, if they can win 2 games before their bye in week 10, which I know is like, you're 2-7. That's not great. But
all right, show me the 2 wins.
Pittsburgh and Miami. Cleveland.
Yeah, and even Cleveland.
I mean, they could win 3 if Deshaun Watson's suspended. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Miami.
At Cleveland, at Pittsburgh, Miami at home.
I'm not saying they're easy wins. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the math there. Yeah.
So let's say they're. I mean, like I'm just thinking best case scenario: 3-6 going into their week 10 bye.
That's a win.
Yeah, because then you got Chicago. You'd steal 1 from Minnesota potentially. That would be 5. Then you have 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I mean, like there's a path to 9 wins for the Jets. It's just.
Okay. Let me put you this way: who wins more games, the Jets or the Dolphins?
I mean, I would take the Dolphins, I think, but the Jets should be considered a potential, like, not playoff sleeper, but like fringy level team. Like if Zach Wilson takes a leap and Mekhi Becton is back to being the guy that we saw early in his career.
The Jets have 1 first-round pick, as we sit here. So if they're terrible, it won't matter. They'll have a high pick. But look, if Zach Wilson bombs, you're thinking about a quarterback next year. There's no waiting around, I don't think.
I think you got to go 3 years. I was talking about this with Adam Gold, our pal of 999, earlier today, in fact. And he was like, how many teams would be looking for a quarterback? And
why would you wait 3 years? If you know he's not the guy, why would you wait?
Well, I just don't think you know after 2 years.
Sometimes you could tell. Josh Rosen, they knew 2 weeks in.
Dominic asks, Jets plus 550 to finish 2nd or 1st in the division. No, thank you.
Yeah. I mean,
they got to leapfrog both the Pats and the Dolphins.
I think they're going to finish with this. I have them finishing with the same record as the Dolphins as here. You just need Mac Jones to implode or whatever. That's a huge, like you said, but with Bill Belichick.
I mean, I just think there's a chance that they lose they lose at minimum 4 games in the division by getting swept by the Bills and the Pats. Like, that wouldn't be unusual.
Right.
And then if that happens and you split with Miami, you're 1-5 before you even start playing the AFC North. And who do they also have? They also have the NFC North.
Yep. I mean, it's good for the Bears and the Lions. Again, the Lions may be good. Like, they could be like they could be better than the
Lions
Jets.
could be like the NFC's version of the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I like them better than the Jets. The Jets won 7 games.
That's kind of wild.
The Seahawks have no faith in.
Well, I mean, the Jaguars, like, is that a Monday night? That's a Thursday night. Oh God, that's right. They did the week 16 Thursday night Amazon game is Jets hosting the Jaguars.
I love that you thought that was a Monday night game.
Yeah. I mean, Thursday night's not much better.
Troy Aikman ain't doing that game.
Week 16. I mean, but you think Al Michaels is happy about it?
Well, I mean, he's on a startup now, so he has to take some lumps.
A startup. It's a spunky little startup named Amazon.com.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I would think I would go. I mean, I'd probably go over on the Jets, but I wouldn't want to lay 160 on it. Not with this. Not knowing that, especially knowing that there's a chance. And remember last year?
Are there odds? Like, if you take like minus 7.5 or not? Excuse me, 7.5 wins. Are there odds on that?
6.5.
What does 6.5 get you?
You'd be plus money at 6.5 for sure.
Ooh.
Oh, so the other thing too, last year at some point during the season, even my local did this, we offered adjusted win totals. So like I took the 49ers to win over 8.5 games or something like that when they were struggling and you guys were calling for Kyle Shanahan to get fired and they racked up a bunch of wins. So I mean, my point being is if the Jets start 0-4, you know, at
That's
their
when you
week 10
pounce.
bye, maybe you could take the over like 2.5 wins, you know, whatever, 3.5 wins, whatever it is.
Right.
Because
And you have
They're
to
better,
hope.
like the second half of their schedule is way easier. All right, you have it 7-10. I could see that being possible. I would lean towards the over here, but I don't think I would wager on the over just because it's minus 160, and you're going to get to week 10 and be like, why did I take the Jets over 5.5? Oh my God, they only have like 8 games left, and I'm in deep trouble. So that's
And you'll be on the Jack Wilson's fine bandwagon.
That's right. All right, man, crisp show today.
Crisp indeed. Probably because no breach.
Probably so. That's true.
He's
We
the
have to
problem.
cycle through one additional.
Breach is in South Beach, chasing around topless Ed Orgeron as he jogs around South Florida.
Yeah, no, of course he is, because that's very John Breach of him. All right, that's the AFC East. We'll be back tomorrow with the AFC North.
I don't think I'm on that show, but I'll go ahead and tell you Steelers over 15.
Nobody wager on that. Back tomorrow with the AFC North. Leave your best AFC East wager or best AFC East win total in the comments. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. For Wilson, I'm Brinson. We will see you guys later.